Today I want to talk about fake healthy food and fake healthy snacks. So I'm talking about things that are disguised as being healthy on the cover and you might think are healthy but really aren't. So if you feel like you're doing everything right and still not seeing results, watch this whole video and you'll learn what fake healthy foods are. Hey guys, it's Mona, and today, like I said, I'm talking about fake healthy food. So I just want to talk about this topic for a second. There's so much of this out there that exists. Food that pretty much, the label will tell you like only the good things, and it's almost like it's a little bit healthy, but it really isn't. Let's start, I guess, with oatmeal because it's right in front of me. So oatmeal can be amazing for you. It's heart healthy. A lot of people learn that it's really great for a lean diet. Where you go wrong is buying the packaged oatmeal that comes pre-flavored. Now, not all individual packaged oatmeal is bad. When you get the ones that are completely plain, it's fine. But if you're getting anything that says like maple nut, cinnamon, anything, if you look at the ingredients, you've got whole grain rolled oats, it's fine, cane sugar, pecan sea salt, maple sugar, and natural maple flavor. So not only do you have cane sugar, and I think everyone watching this video knows that sugar is not good for you. We all want to avoid sugar, especially processed, as much as we can. So not only do we have cane sugar, we also have maple sugar, so two kinds of sugar, and then natural maple flavor. And anytime you see things that have like this kind of flavor, even if it says natural flavor, if you just looked up what this could mean and what could fall into this category, it's honestly horrifying. So there's 3 different things that are coming here that are giving us extra sugar, and there's one also hidden ingredient that we don't really know like what it is and what that flavor is coming from. And oftentimes companies will add in these natural flavors to kind of lock you in and almost make you addicted to that flavor. Like, do you ever notice like certain protein bars or certain things have like a very distinct taste and flavor that you really, really like? Well, that's often what the natural flavors are, and it's kind of meant to give you that like memory and that positive reinforcement, and it's all not good. So let's also talk about the calories and sugar in this. This one has 4 grams of fat, 38 grams of carb, 11 grams of sugar. That's what's in this package of oatmeal. Now, if you compare this to regular oatmeal, it's got either 0 or 1 gram of sugar. Usually, I prefer to find it that has 0 and no sodium. You might even notice that in packaged oatmeal, the carbs are even higher because sugar is a carb. So you can check all these things out, but really, at the end of the day, one of the most important parts is it's just more processed. Like, the more you're adding in there to like add before you actually cook it is just going to be more processed, harder for your body to digest. It's more like of a foreign chemical coming into your body, and it's the sugar. So processed and sugar is what we're trying to avoid. Go for the regular oatmeal. It can still be individually packed, but just always go with plain. The next one I want to talk about are veggie chips and veggie pasta. I don't have an example of veggie pasta here, but this is literally my favorite example because I feel like everyone needs to know what a fraud this is. Not all of them, and I don't mean to sound so dramatic, but when you see like a bag of chips, even the ones that are like veggie sticks, literally they can just take a regular bag of chips that are still fried, still just using all potato, the same oils, and maybe just infuse it with like a little bit of vegetable. Maybe take a little bit of vegetable powder and put it in there. Like, you are not getting a great serving of vegetables, like a healthy serving. You're still getting just as much fat. Also, half of the issue that goes into eating chips is the fact that it's deep fried. This is where the toxins come and the extra fat comes. So just because it says veggie doesn't mean it's healthier. And this isn't to say that you can never eat chips. Like, I eat them sometimes too. It's not the end of the world, but know what you're eating and don't eat it and think that you're eating healthy, because then, you're just not going to meet your health and fitness goals. Another thing I love about this one, when it says real vegetable chips, it uses sweet potatoes. So sweet potatoes are technically a root vegetable. So yes, it's a vegetable, but you're still getting a potato in it. Sweet potatoes, expeller pressed canola oil and or safflower oil and or sunflower oil and sea salt. Still 10 grams of fat, still not healthy. The next thing is pasta. So if you go to the grocery store and you see like a package of pasta that says like spinach linguine or spinach pasta, tomato pasta, and the packaging is nice and the font is a lot more elegant, so you think you're like eating something really healthy. The exact same thing. All they're doing is like infusing a little bit in there when really you could just take regular pasta, take a handful of organic spinach before it's almost done. It will wilt in like 5 minutes and you're gonna get way more benefit out of that. Now, there is some pasta that is veggie pasta. If you go buy literally zucchini noodles or carrot noodles and you cook them yourself, That's veggie pasta. Then there's also healthy pasta like lentil pasta, quinoa pasta, and if you look at the ingredients, it will just say lentil flour or quinoa flour. That's how you know. So really the point is with these, look at the back and you'll see that even though it might say it's veggie, it's maybe just infused in there a little bit, and you're much better off not even getting the veggies from that and just eating them on your own. Okay, next, let's talk about Kind bars. So I decided to just choose Kind bar. This actually goes for a lot of different health and protein bars, which I think will be a video in itself to show the difference between them all. But I decided to choose Kind because I feel like the name is very misleading, and this one especially almost makes you think like you're making a great choice, and really, you're not. So let's go through the ingredients. Almonds, cashews, and peanuts. Number one, that's already a pretty heavy snack. Peanuts I'd recommend avoiding. Of all, number one, they're not even a nut, they're actually a legume. If you research peanuts, they're actually really, really susceptible to mold growth. So a lot of them actually have traces of mold, which can be really toxic. So peanuts, if you're gonna eat them, just know they're not healthy. That's all I'm saying. Just be informed of what you're eating. Almonds and cashews are great, but it is heavy. So just know that when you're eating this, it's not necessarily the lightest snack. Honey, okay, honey's fine. Honey's a healthy form of sugar. Also glucose syrup, so that's just pure sugar. Glucose is sugar, so glucose syrup is added in there. And any kind of carb or calorie, anything you're getting from sugar or glucose is just an absolute empty calorie, so it's not nourishing you, it's not giving you anything good, it's just nothing. Then it's got chicory root fiber, which might not be the worst thing, but a lot of people will experience bloating from this. So if you notice that you eat things with chicory root fiber, just pay attention. I always say, you have to be your own science experiment. Watch how you react to things when you eat them. It can cause a lot of bloat. Rice flour, I don't know where the rice flour goes, because the way they arrange this bar makes it seem really clean, especially with the clean packaging. So I'm really not sure where that rice flour is going. And then sea salt. Then we've got soy lecithin, which is pretty much just added in here as a filler, almost an emulsifier. So anything extra that's just an additive, you know that it's not the cleanest product. And then we've got more sugar. So we've got glucose syrup, honey, and sugar. 3 kinds of sugar, kind of similar to the oatmeal, where if you're gonna sweeten it with one thing, I feel like that's enough. I don't know if you've ever, to me, honey is sweet enough. When you eat these, you can almost tell it's got a gooiness around it. When you break it open, it's kind of sticky, which I guess you could think is just honey, but there's a lot more to it. And lastly, I just want to do a quick nutrition comparison of this Kind bar to a Snickers bar. I think this is a really interesting one you're going to find. Normally, I'm not big on just what is the fat, carbs, protein. I don't like to just pay attention to that, but I wanted to do this for those of you who are eating this as a light snack, or maybe think that, I don't know, you want something in terms of fitness and weight loss. So let me just pull up the stats I pulled up here on my phone. Okay, so we're doing gram for gram of a Snickers bar. That means if it was the same size. A Snickers bar is a little bit bigger than this, so if it was, cut into the exact same size. This is 210 calories, and a Snickers bar would be 190 calories. The Kind bar is 15 grams of fat, and the Snickers is 9 grams of fat. And the Kind bar is 140 milligrams of sodium, and the Snickers is 91 milligrams of sodium. So really, an actual Snickers bar is only a tiny bit bigger than that, so the calories are even pretty much the exact same, but if you took it gram for gram, it's actually a lighter snack. So there you go, interesting one on the Kind bar. I'll do a video on just protein bars. And the last one I want to talk about is pre-made juices, smoothies, and I'm going to throw acai bowls into this one too. So for the pre-made smoothies, this is one example of just one you can grab at a store, but I'm actually even referring to something like the Naked Juice, or the ones that you get at any grocery store that are pre-mixed, and you see that it's all fruit and vegetable. The biggest thing here is sugar. These are packed with sugar. I love fruit and I love eating it, but I do eat it in moderation, and I eat organic whole fruit in the morning. I'm not having tons and tons of fruit all the time, especially when it's processed. So a lot of these, not only is it tons of sugar, but the way they get it, the base is often made from some kind of fruit juice. And I'm not talking about fruit that's juice in a juicer. It's usually some kind of fruit juice concentrate. They'll say it's some kind of puree, whatever it is. If you look at the back, the sugar is terrible. Also, it's just not fresh, it's processed. So just when you get one of those again, actually, I would even say to really avoid these all the time. A lot of these I'm saying obviously once in a while you're gonna have, but really that is just you're drinking so many calories because it's juice and it's just going straight through you. It's gonna spike your blood sugar so much. It's just really not good for your body. So I would totally avoid those. This one I wanted to show as an example. Even if you're like at a grocery store or something and they have like pre-made ones you can just grab and go, always make your own, because strawberry almond, this is strawberry, banana, agave, and almond milk. Why on earth would you need agave when there's strawberry and banana? Like, fruit in a smoothie makes it so sweet. You don't need any other sweetener, and agave is not healthy. If you go to my other video on my healthy sugar substitutes, I talk about agave and how it's really not healthy. So definitely try to just make your own. And the last thing I want to talk about is acai bowls. I love acai bowls. I love making them myself. I love acai. I think it's an amazing fruit because it actually has 0 grams of sugar on its own. I think that's really interesting because no other fruit has no sugar except for an avocado. But when you're going out and grabbing an acai bowl, I feel like they're very accessible now. Like Jamba Juice has them. Every little cafe is kind of making their own acai bowls. It's so high in sugar and calorie, and the acai they're using is oftentimes really low quality. They get it that it's pre-sweetened. Sometimes it has like added anything in it, maybe added preservatives. Sometimes they'll say it's like protein acai and just add a bunch of junk in it. On top of that, they're blending it with so many bananas, adding in sugary granola, topping it with extra fruit, topping it with some kind of like nut butter that for the most part isn't usually high quality. It probably has some kind of like added oil in it. Then they might even go as far to like top it with like chocolate chips or something more. All around, it's a lot of sugar to take in for one meal. When the interesting thing is acai on its own doesn't have any sugar. So when you're getting it out, if you can be mindful and if you educate yourself and you know how to order it, you could make this very healthy and you could go and order it correctly. But don't just go grab one and assume that it's a light meal. These are all just little tips. If you are struggling with weight loss or health and you feel like you're doing the right things and you're eating things like this that maybe seem like better alternatives, that was the point of this video. It's not meant to make anyone feel bad, but just be aware and make sure that when you're gonna be healthy, you're actually doing it the right way so that your effort is actually getting you results. If you guys have any questions on this, if you like these like fake healthy food videos, let me know and we can make this like a little series. Let me know what else you want me to film content on. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.